How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan, aka Slammerella, and today we have an awesome unboxing to do. We got some vinyl straight from Yperano Records. Thank you, George, for shipping this ahead of payment. I appreciate the hell out of it, and I am excited to dive into this. It's got a couple of punk things and a record that I was really hoping that I could eventually get in my collection because of the review I just recently did on them a few videos back, and I was hoping I could get this in my collection because there's some amazing Sepultura meets Anders Kotlesevsky's Pain Face project, kind of mix of death metal and hardcore and post-thrash, but we'll get there eventually. Here's the package I got in the mail, the vinyl. It was packaged with a little strip down the middle as well, so this was not actually showing. I just kind of opened it up and checked everything out to make sure everything was kosher before we did the video. So yeah, awesome to have this here. Very stoked, and it has been a while since I actually had some vinyl on this channel, so that's extra exciting. Also, before we get started, shout out to the guy from the Metalhead box who didn't want this Akitsa shirt. Hell yeah. Cult Virtuer. I can't pronounce it. But basically it just means virtuous cult. And it is from the Grand Infamy album, which I actually have. I have that. And Goeshi. I can't pronounce French. But yeah, super stoked to get a Akitsa shirt in. Even though I'm not currently subscribed to the Metalhead box. Maybe one day I'll eventually be able to afford it again, along with my martial arts and stuff as well. But until then, I'm happy to grab some stuff that people don't really want from the Metalhead box if I'm interested and they're willing to part with it. So what is the first thing we got in this vinyl unboxing here? That is Conflict with their debut 1983 album, It's Time to See Who's Who. Now, this is a little bit beat up from it being so damn old. Probably first press, probably the original 1983 release, secondhand, and that's fine. George showed me ahead of time, and I was perfectly fine with getting it. And the funny thing is, when I ordered this, I had no idea this was actually Conflict's first album, so it was an even bigger bonus when it got here and I actually did the research. I'm like, oh shit. I mean, I know I like the band Conflict, but I didn't know this was their very first album, so a bonus cool thing to know. So anyways, if you don't know who Conflict are, they are an anarcho-punk band that started in 1981, and they originate from London, England. Besides this album, they also have 7 other LPs and about 3 to 5 EPs too. It depends on what you consider an EP and a maxi single and live stuff and whatever. But yeah, they got a few EPs as well. So if you like their debut album, check out their other 7 other albums. Maybe not their more modern stuff if you're into this, because they do change a teeny bit here and there, especially the album Against All Odds or something. You might see that in an upcoming CD collection update. Wink wink. But yeah, so this was really exciting to get, and despite the seemingly kind of wear and tear condition, it played perfectly well on my record player. So yep. Anywho, we're gonna check out the inside. It's just one of these old school kind of brown paper bag type inner sleeves, and the vinyl itself is just black. There's side B, and then side A literally is just an old English letter of an A, so that's cool. And rule number 1 of showing vinyl on YouTube is don't re-sleeve on camera. So we're just going to set this down. Alright, what's next in this vinyl unboxing? That is some more punk, because of course it is. But this is the second album by Charged GBH, City Baby's Revenge, aka 101 Ways to Kill a Rat, because their first album was City Baby Attacked by Rats. So in this one, City Baby is getting revenge, chopping the fucking heads off of these vermin, for their shenanigans and crimes committed against the baby, this punk rock baby that kind of looks like a baby Billy Idol. And if we're being honest, this kind of just sounds like a more aggressive, angrier, slightly sped up version of Billy Idol stuff anyways. Also, continuing to speak about Billy Idol, I wouldn't mind getting their Generation X albums, plural, if there's more than one. But yeah, wouldn't mind getting that eventually too. But this was nice to see on Yperano Records that they had there. George seems to think this has a pretty good production. And unfortunately, the bass doesn't work for my vinyl player when it's hooked up to my soundbar. It just plays to the soundbar and not the subwoofer. So unfortunately, I didn't quite get to hear the oomph that this might have. But from the playback that I did hear, it's pretty good. And the album probably sounds better with your headphones on or a proper stereo system, not soundbars. I don't know why soundbars became a thing and like surround sound kind of went way of the dodo bird. Don't get it. Anywho, let's check out the inner sleeve. And in the meantime, if you don't know who GBH are, or Charge GBH are, they're a street punk / 80s hardcore band that started in 1978. They are originally located in Birmingham, England, and besides this, they have 11 other albums and about 6 to 7 EPs. So if you like this, you might enjoy a lot of their other stuff, because it's fairly similar. Perfume and Piss and whatever the new one is called is a little bit different, because they're older and their voice is a little bit more like shredded and more raspier than this is, but it's still pretty much the same shit. Like, if you liked their very first album, Bristles, Leather, and Acne, then there's no reason why you shouldn't like the rest of their discography, in my opinion. It's all pretty much the same stuff, give or take a little bit of style change here and there. But yeah, this is from 1983. This is their second album. This is the inner sleeve, by the way. Mostly just a couple of black and white band pics and some lyrics. Yep. Pretty cool stuff. And the vinyl is black again, but I'll show you the center labels. This is on Roadrunner. This is side 1. And again on this side, just more Roadrunner labels, side 2. And they're not on any sort of heavy gram vinyl. They're just the regular thin kind of black vinyl that you'd expect. And again, this is probably the original pressing too, from 1983. It seems pretty old. It's slightly beat up from wear and tear, but it still played well. There wasn't too many scratches or bumps or hiccups or anything like that when I listened to it. So honestly, no problem. And I just broke the rule number 1. I put away vinyl on camera. But here we are. I didn't struggle with it, so I guess that's okay. All right. Now that you've got this far in the video, this is the whole purpose we're here. This is the reason why you clicked on it. This next piece is the coup de grace and the whole reason why I wanted this package. This is, it's glorious. Here we go. Mordicus with the second album, Rights and Trials, boiled down to 9 tracks on side A and B. I did a fairly long review about this album. Excellent, excellent stuff. This is a death metal band from 1989, technically, but this release itself, if you didn't watch my review, is more along the lines of hardcore and post-thrash, very groovy, headbangy, bouncy, Sepultura meets Anders Kulsefni's Painface Project type of stuff. Think of Arise mixed with Roots, mixed with a little bit of Hatebreed, mixed with a little bit of Vulgar Display of Power by Pantera. Mix all that shit together, crank it to 11, and this is pretty much what Mordicus is. Again, this is a banger of an amazing post-thrash, hardcore, just groovy as fuck album with some really throaty, angry fucking vocals. I love it. It's so good. So, yeah, they come on 100 black vinyl only. It'd be interesting to know what number I got. Maybe George, if you're watching, you can tell me what number my copy is. And again, it's just on black vinyl, but I'll show you the labels. Here's side A with those tracks on it. And here we go, side B with those tracks on it. And I did give it a listen to on my cheap vinyl player and system, and I'm gonna say, even though I don't have the bass coming through with the subwoofer, you can tell that this was mixed really fucking well, even with the shitty setup that I have. The drums come in very clear. There's some cool cuts and some really just like catchy type of hooks and stuff like that that are in the instruments, yes, but the way it's cut on the mixing floor and the way it comes through the EQ, I could only imagine what it would sound like on a really good stereo system with surround sound. Like, this would have the whole fucking house shaking and rumbling for sure. Just, I could see you Neanderthal stomping all around the house listening to this. So yeah, again, get your ass over to Yperano Records. I'll have the link below. Try to order yourself a copy of Mordicus, Rights and Trials. And again, if you're going to order from Yperano Records, make sure to order more than one vinyl, otherwise it won't process. And getting more than one vinyl in it will help protect the packaging when it's shipped to you, so there'll be less chances of bends or breaks or anything stupid going on. Because again, we all know how USPS and the postal system and stuff like that love to just huck packages across their factory or just slam packages down on your porch when they get there. According to the wife, this was just kind of like shoved in our tiny little mailbox at the front. It's just your average mailbox, and they just shoved it in there and was waiting for someone to pick it up. So I'm glad that she noticed it was there and it didn't get too badly damaged. There's a little bit of bend in the corners of here and here, but honestly, I'm pretty stoked with this regardless. Thank you again, George, for sending me this package. I will obviously get you the money when I can get it to you, and I hope all of you go check out Mordicus if you can some way. I'll have a link to the video that's provided by Yperano Records in the description box below. Excellent stuff. Hope you enjoyed this vinyl unboxing, and we'll see you in the next video. For Glory, for the Rebellion, Slammerella out.